Here's a secret for you folks. Motivation comes from meaning. Motivation comes from doing things that are deeply emotional to us, things that are meaningful to us, right? Hey there, I'm Dr. Del Millers, and this is Energize Your Life After 50. You see, the goal of this podcast is to help you answer one simple question, and that is, how do you want to live the next chapter in your life? Do you want to keep it as it is, or do you want more? Do you want to be better, fitter, stronger, healthier without meds, more confidence, more sex appeal? Do you want to get your mojo back? Maybe you want to be the you you've always thought you could be. So each week we'll look at simple ways to intentionally create your next chapter, prioritizing your health, your physicality, your emotional and spiritual well-being, as well as looking and feeling your best. Are you up for the challenge? Then let's get moving. All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Energize Your Life After 50. How you doing out there? Doing good? I hope you're having a wonderful time because this year is just going by. You know, January, February, March is coming to a close. So I hope you are working diligently on those goals you have set for yourself for this year. You know, I was cleaning up my bookshelf the other day and I came across one title I've had for years. I have a bunch of books that I usually carry around with me from year to year. Sometimes I get rid of some, and some are just good enough to hang around. And one of those books the title is Do What You Love and the Money Will Follow. This is an old book from way back in the 90s when I was first beginning my entrepreneurial journey. And, I still do read a lot of books on entrepreneurship and, just finding your way in the world. And, I thought about that. I thought about all the people I see at the gym who are just plain struggling. You know what I'm talking about? They're just struggling with everything they do. And it just makes me think, well, why? Why are you here? Why are you doing this? Why do you put yourself through that? Why do you put yourself through all this misery and pain? Do you even have a reason for doing it? There's one thing if you have a reason and, it is part of a bigger plan. But I get the sense that for most people, they do things because they think that they should. It's what they should do. They should be at the gym. They should be working out. They should be exercising. They should be working on their health. They should be doing all these different things. And the question I always ask is, why? Why should you do it? Why do you have to do it? Why don't you focus on doing things you love and see how well the results follow? So learn to do things you love and the results will follow. So that is what we're going to talk about today. But before we get started, I'd like to take this time to remind you of a few important resources that are available to you. Number one, my free masterclass. The top 3 things you must do to lose weight and keep it off. Okay, if you're struggling with weight as an issue, then you must check out that masterclass. There's also my webinar, Get Your Sexy Back. If you're ready to truly transform your body and your life, then please sign up for the webinar. It's free. You also have access to a free health strategy call with me when you're ready to move forward in a powerful way. I also have a vault of coaching videos at my website, personalfitness.com. You can find all of that, sign up for all of that at my website, personalfitness.com. And lastly, please consider subscribing to this podcast. There is a link in the episode notes. And thank you. Thank you for being here. I really do appreciate you. All right, Dr. Del here again, and we're talking about why it would be more beneficial for you to focus on doing things you enjoy doing rather than doing things you think you should be doing, like exercise, for instance. Most people just think that they should be exercising. And I think this whole process of, promoting fitness and health is all twisted because it focuses too much on external motivators as opposed to intrinsic motivators. Right? External motivators don't last. They might motivate us for a little bit. We might start doing things because, oh, I want to be healthy. It's going to make me healthy. But that's not going to last. That's not going to keep you motivated. Right? Many people know the things they do are bad for them. Smoking is bad for you. They do it. Eating junk food is bad. They do it. So focusing on doing things because of health reasons, well, that's not going to motivate you in the long term. I know it. It sounds the opposite of what most people will tell you, but I'm telling you the truth. I've been doing this for a very long time, right? I've been involved with physical activity since I was in my early teens. I started with martial arts. Again, I started with something I loved. That's how I kept going with it. I started with something I loved, and martial arts led to gymnastics. I took up gymnastics, and that led to me being more into fitness and me being more into nutrition. It wasn't from starting exercising. No, I started doing something I love, and that led to something else. That led me to be interested in peak performance and getting better with the things I do. So that's why I said, start with something you love. What is it you love? And as usual, when I work with clients, I ask them a question: why? Why do you want to lose weight? Why do you want to get healthy? Why do you want to get fit? Why? Why is it important to you? Why are you here at the gym exercising? Why is it important to you? What does it mean? Here's a secret for you folks. Motivation comes from meaning. Motivation comes from doing things that are deeply emotional to us, things that are meaningful to us, right? Logic never motivates, right? Knowing, oh, I should do this because it's going to make me healthy. Well, that's not going to motivate you. Motivation comes from meaning. Motivation comes from emotion. You have to have a deeply emotional reason why. So I always say start with why, because that is your motivating factor. Start with why. Why is it important to you? Why do you exercise? Well, I exercise because I want to be fit. Well, why do you want to be fit? Well, I want to be healthier. Well, why do you want to be healthy? Well, I want to prevent disease. Well, why is that important to you? Why do you need to prevent disease? Well, I want to live a better life. Well, why do you want to live a better life? Well, I want my best life. Why is that important to you? Well, I want to feel alive. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. I want to feel alive. See, that's deeply personal. There's some emotions wrapped around that. I can get emotional about being alive as opposed to being sick and tired and exhausted and, no energy. How about being energized and alive? How about waking up in the morning and being able to give yourself a high five in the mirror and say, yay, girl, yay, boy, yeah, let's get this day going. How about waking up like that? Well, I can wrap my head around that. I can wrap my head around being alive. So now the things I do, if they're going to contribute to me feeling alive and feeling energized and feeling like I'm ready to take on this day, this life, okay, I'm getting somewhere. So start with why. Why is it important to you? It has to be a part of a bigger picture, folks. If you're exercising, exercise has to be a part of a bigger picture. Otherwise, it's not going to be meaningful. It's not going to last. You are going to struggle. And if it's a struggle, you haven't found the right thing yet. So move on. Because sooner or later, if you're struggling, you will quit. So why not sooner than later? If you're struggling, you haven't found the right thing yet. And if you're struggling, sooner or later, you're going to quit. So why is it important to you? Keep asking yourself that. Why am I doing the things I do? Always ask yourself, why am I doing the things I do? And if you can't come up with a deeply emotional reason why, then maybe you should be doing something else, because maybe it's not the thing for you. If you're bored with what you're doing, find something more meaningful to do with your time, people. Motivation comes from meaning, doing things that are deeply meaningful to you. So find the meaning in your activities. If you're bored, chances are you're not being challenged, right? You're not challenging yourself. You're not trying to get better at something. We are at our best when we're at the very tip of what our capabilities are. When we're challenging ourselves, we're doing more, a little more than we think we're capable of doing. That's when we're at our best. That's when we stay motivated. If you're just out walking on the treadmill or going through the motions, and that is not going to motivate you, because there is no challenge there. To be challenged, to be motivated, there has to be challenge, because human beings, we like challenge. We like to rise to a new level. We like to rise to the occasion. If we're not rising to the occasion, we're not going to be motivated. So if you're bored, you're not being challenged. That's another part of it. But again, why are you doing what you're doing? Why not find something you like to do? How do you like to move your body? Ask yourself that. How do I like to move? And if you say you don't, then, hey, forget about this notion of, what you say you're really interested in coming alive. You're just in love with the idea of being alive, of coming alive. You're not really in love with coming alive. You're in love with the idea, like many people are in love with the idea of better health. It would be nice, but I'm just not willing to do what it takes. So, how do you like to move your body? Start there, right? Do you like to go out and walk around the neighborhood and look at the, being in nature, look at the houses around, enjoy the sunshine? Do you like to go for a walk on the beach? Do you like to go for a hike? Do you like to go for a bike ride? Do you like to rollerblade or roller skate? How do you like to move? Do you like to dance? Well, put on some music and dance. Who's stopping you? Do you like to garden? Go garden. What do you like? How do you like to move your body? The body was meant to move. You're not going to be energized if that body isn't moving. You're sitting 6-8 hours a day and that body isn't moving. But your movement has to be purposeful. Your movement have to be purposeful. Why do you do it? It has to be things you love to do. You need to do things you love to do. Do what you love, and the results will follow. Why? Because you will do it on a consistent basis. You will do it over the long term. If you're struggling, you're going to quit. So why not just quit right now? Quit the things that you don't find interesting. Quit the things you find boring. Quit the things you're struggling with, and find something that you love to do. And do that. Be consistent with it, because here's the deal. Success is nothing more than consistency over time. So don't start with, I'm trying to be healthy, I'm trying to be fit. Well, why? Why is that important to you? You got to come up with a big why, a deeply emotional reason why the things you're doing is important to you. What keeps me going out to the tennis court with my hamper of balls and just practicing my serve? I want to be better at tennis. Why? Because I love playing. I love being at my best. I love competing. I love the feeling of being out there and doing well. And when I'm doing well, that makes me feel good. That makes me feel alive. There's that coming alive again, right? So, hey, I get out there. Whether it's warm or it's cold, I get out there and I practice. Why? Because that is a part of coming alive. That practice has a meaning. That is meaningful practice. That is part of my big picture. What kept me practicing martial arts for over 30 years when most of the people I started with quit after about 6 months? I loved it. I loved the challenge. I loved the philosophy. I loved the feeling of getting to a new level of mind, body, spirit integration, which is what it was for me. I love the practice. I love the art. So you see, it starts with love. What keeps you going after all these years? It starts with doing things that you love. What kept me dancing for all these years? I used to compete as a professional Latin dancer. What kept me doing that for all these years? Love. I love the feeling of connecting to the music and moving my body in ways that just felt like I was dancing with God. What kept me doing my cardio? I was just on the elliptical this morning. And when I do my cardio, I like to shut out the noise. If I'm at the gym, I shut out the noise. It's like nobody else is around. It doesn't matter what's going on. So I am going for a feeling. So when I'm doing cardio, when I'm at the gym, I'm going for a feeling. I'm not just there to walk on the treadmill or do the elliptical. I am going for a feeling. I am going deeper and deeper and deeper. I'm going inside because I'm going for a feeling. I'm going to someplace deep. I'm going to the place that makes me feel like I am dancing with God. That was the title of my very first book, Dancing with God. I changed the title to Fitness and Spirituality, How to Make the Connection. And I've said before, you can get a free copy of that book by leaving me a rating and a review of this podcast, and send me a screenshot of your rating to podcast@personalfitness.com, podcast@personalfitness.com. So you see, when I do things, I do them with a bigger purpose in mind. My goal is to come alive. So if your goal is to come alive, then start there. What do you have to do to come alive? Well, if your goal is to be your best self and to come alive, to feel like you're alive on a daily basis, well, there's some things you're going to have to do. There are ways you're going to have to eat. There are ways you're going to have to move your body. You're going to have to sleep a certain way. You're going to have to learn to live a certain way in terms of how you deal with the stressors in your life. You've got to eat, move, sleep, live. There are things that you're going to need to do in all those areas in order to come alive. But start with why. Why is all this important to me? Because until you can answer that question, in my coaching, one of the first things, I start with my clients to finding their big why. Why are you interested in losing weight? Why do you want to create that future self, that person 5 years from now who is your best self? Why do you want to do that? Why do you want to create that person? And, sometimes people just can't find that why. It takes them a while to figure out, why? Why is it important to me? But until you can really connect with that reason very deeply, why is it important to you? You're going to struggle. And sooner or later, if you're struggling, you're going to quit. So instead of struggle, you can start by, figure out, why is it meaningful to you? Why? Why do what you do? And start with something you love to do. If that's walking, great. Let walking take you to running. Let running take you to maybe doing 5Ks or 10Ks or biking, whatever. Let doing what you love take you somewhere else. But don't start with, I'm doing this because I want to lose weight and this is what I have to do to lose weight. Those are external motivators, and external motivators will motivate you for a very short time, but they won't last. So eventually you will quit because you will keep struggling. Unless you can come up with a deeply emotional, internal reason why you're doing what you're doing, and start with something you love to do, chances are you will quit because you won't be motivated to do it. You won't have the discipline to do it, because discipline comes from knowing, well, why am I doing what I'm doing? And then doing it whether I feel like it or not, because there's a greater purpose. That is what it takes, folks. So do what you love to do. Start with doing things you love, and the results will follow because you will keep doing it more consistently. And success is consistency over time. You will be more motivated because you have found the reason why you're doing it. You have your big picture. And when you start from your big picture, when you start from a place that is deeply emotional, that is where your motivation will come from. All right, that's all I've got for you today. So don't forget to leave me a rating and a review, and you can get a free copy of my book, Fitness and Spirituality, by sending me a screenshot of your rating to podcast@personalfitness.com. You take care of yourself, and until next time, may the best of your todays be the worst of your tomorrows. Catch you later. You've been listening to Energize Your Life After 50 with me, your host, Dr. Del Millers. For all the resources mentioned in this episode, you can check the show notes or go to my website at personalfitness.com. There, you can sign up for the free masterclass, the free webinar, a free health strategy call, and have access to my vault of coaching videos, all for free. So check out the website at personalfitness.com. See you next time.